Okay, thank you, everyone. My name is Claire Lindahl, and I have been the CEO of the Soil and Water Conservation Society since August. Thank you. This is a great group. We're already applauding, and this early in the morning. Welcome to the National Conference on Cover Crops and Soil Health. It is great to be in Indiana for this event. Indiana has long been, in my eyes and the nation's eyes, a leader in cover crops and soil health, and I will tell you, I know that not just because of what I read in the news and online, but because Kim, our meeting planner extraordinaire with the Society, came into my office one day and she said, I just got off the phone with the Indianapolis Convention Visitors Bureau. And they have been helping us plan our guest tour and guest event at the mall, identifying all of the free services and the coupons and the bags. And Kim says right before she let me hang up, the contact from the Convention Visitors Bureau in Indianapolis said, and by the way, I want you to know, I do know what cover crops are. So we concluded that everyone in Indiana must know what cover crops are. So ask your barista, ask the folks around you because they are really doing it right. I want to start by recognizing some organizations and individuals this morning for which this event just simply couldn't be possible without. I want to acknowledge the Howard G. Buffett Foundation for their support of the event. And as I move forward and mention you, if you wouldn't mind standing, and we will and remain standing, and we will hold our applause for the end. I want to ask our conference planning committee to stand and be acknowledged. And I'd like to give a special thanks. I know you're out there. There we go. I want to give a special thanks to Rob Myers with the Sustainable Ag Research and Education, and Jim Gulliford, the former CEO of the Society, who served as conference planning committee co-chairs. I'd like to also ask the members of our local Hoosier chapter of the Soil and Water Conservation Society to stand. They have been integral in promoting, organizing, and executing this event, and we're very grateful for them for that. I'd also like to ask any of the other society board members and any other members of the Soil and Water Conservation Society to stand at this time. Great. And certainly, last but not least, I want to ask our staff to step forward. They're always in the back, very close to the door in case something needs to be done, but the Soil and Water Conservation staff have been integral in putting on this conference. So let's give all of these folks a round of applause. For those of you who are not familiar with the Soil and Water Conservation Society, we rose out of the Dust Bowl. Like many of the great soil conservation efforts of this nation, we serve as a hub of information and tools for all of those who practice the art and science of soil and water conservation. That's everyone in this room, and we invite you all to be part of the Society's family. You can find information in your conference program about the Society. We have a booth outside as well, so I welcome you to visit us, talk to us, let us know what we can do for you as practitioners. We seek to be that link between research and practitioners, and so let us know as a society what we can do for you as we move forward and take on new initiatives and new endeavors. Also, the Society staff is here to ensure you have a productive event and a nice visit, so if you need anything at all, grab me, grab one of the other staff, and we will get you what you need. I want to start out today just sharing with you what we have in store for you over the next couple of days. Secretary Northey and Chief Jordan were unable to join us, and they send their regrets. We will start out with a video from Iowa Secretary of Agriculture Bill Northey, and we will get a true Indiana welcome from Jane Hardesty, the Indiana State Con with USDA NRCS. And then this morning during our general session, we also have renowned geologist, professor, and author David Montgomery. And then we will conclude our general session for the day with our three-farmer panel. You have note cards on your seats. Please use these to write down questions you have for the speakers, and our volunteers will be picking them up. We are really grateful for our over for our nearly 30 exhibitors. And we have lots of opportunities for you to interact and engage with our exhibitors throughout the event, during networking breaks, which we'll have refreshments with. You will have lunch with our exhibitors today, and then this evening we will have the hors d'oeuvres and cash bar at the reception with our exhibitors. We have 40 speakers during our breakout sessions today and tomorrow. 14 farmer speakers from 9 states, practitioners from the public and private sector, representatives of 8 different universities sharing the latest and greatest research results. So your breakout sessions that you chose are listed on your name tag. And note that there has been 1 speaker change in the breakout sessions, and that is Dan Towery of Ag Conservation Solutions will be sharing his information about cover crops and herbicides today at 3:30 p.m. in track 2B instead of tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. in track 3D. So please make a note of that 1 speaker change. Tomorrow's general session will include Rob Myers and his top 10 list for cover crops and building soil health, so we're looking forward to hearing that, and looking forward to hearing from our Nebraska farmer and co-owner of Green Cover Seed, Keith Burns, as he talks about carbonomics, and then hearing our wrap-up closing panel from the 3 folks that we've chosen from different sectors that have attended the entire conference, hear their takeaways, and what they plan to do with the information that they've received. And then we still have space on our 2 tours. You can pick up a ticket and a box lunch if you're interested in attending one of those Friday afternoon at registration. Today before noon, pick those up. One of the tours is soil health practices and their economic opportunities, and the other one really focuses on the water quality benefits that they're measuring here in Indiana of those soil health practices. For those of you who are seeking to receive CEUs, be sure and sign in and out of each session in the table outside of the main room here. And then let's take our conversation online and use our hashtag CoverCrops17 when tweeting about the conference, and tag at SWCS News as well. So everyone received a copy of 40 Chances, Howard G. Buffett's book. How many folks have read that? See a show of hands. Great. I just finished it as well. It's a really good book. I really enjoyed it. And I hope you have some time to read it this winter as well if you haven't read it yet. And this is a quote I think that really encompasses the gist of the book. And it says, each of us has about 40 chances to accomplish our goals in life. I learned this first through agriculture, because all farmers can expect to have about 40 growing seasons, giving them 40 chances to improve every harvest. And to me, I think this quote speaks to the urgency of scaling up the work that we do. I find it very inspiring. Most days, some days, I find it provides me a little bit of anxiety. So I want you to think about this in a little smaller scale this morning. And you have 20 hours left in this conference if I ever stop talking and get off stage. So what can you do in those next 20 hours to move forward a conservation goal you have for your career and for your life? Thank you for joining us. I am so grateful to all of you for making the trip. And at this time, I will play the welcome video from Secretary Northey.
Well, good morning all. Welcome to the National Conference on Cover Crops. I wish I could be with you this morning and hope you've had safe travels in. I apologize for not being able to be there, but I know you're going to have a great conference. And certainly thank you for all your great work on cover crops, for spending some time with friends and others that you'll learn from, and you'll share some of your experiences with cover crops the next day or two. But also your work back home, wherever home is for you. We in Iowa are working on cover crops and growing our cover crop acreage here in Iowa. 10 years ago, you'd been kind of hard-pressed to find many acres of cover crops. In fact, I think our numbers show about 5 years ago, we had less than 20,000 acres that were cost-shared for cover crop. Maybe that many more acres, or a few acres more than that, that were planted to cover crops without cost share. We now have about 300,000 acres cost shared, about 600,000 acres of cover crops Even this year, we have another 1,000 farmers that are participating in our state cost share program that are planting cover crops for the first time. So we are seeing great growth just with a large cover crop seed provider the last couple days, and one of the comments they made is they're seeing about a 20% growth annually, compounding every year here in cover crop acreage in Iowa. And I know a lot of you are seeing growth, and some of you have had more of a history of cover crops in your states than Iowa has. But we are seeing growth in cover crop interest all over. Certainly we in Iowa are very committed to it. I look forward to my next role, assuming there'll be a next role here pretty soon, but I don't know when that'll be. But whenever that is, of continuing to work with all of you to promote cover crops, because there's such a great activity out there to be able to cover that ground during times when a crop is not growing on that ground, able to control erosion, able to build soil organic matter and build soil health and soil tilth. And certainly in Iowa, one of the drivers is positively impacting water quality by holding those nutrients in that soil, the phosphorus from the soil running off, the nitrogen because of the grass crop or the cover crop being able to hold that into place until a annual crop can come in and be able to use those nutrients. So and lots of other great reasons to use cover crops, and I'm sure there'll be a lot of sharing of those reasons as you talk about cover crops the next couple days. So certainly welcome again. Have a great conference. I look forward to hearing about the conversations, being able to catch up on some of the things that are being talked about, and I certainly look forward to working with many of you as either here in Iowa or in a role in the national NRCS and FSA and USDA. So thank you all. Have a great conference.
Wonderful. I think that, you know, in Iowa, we just locked him in the basement. We don't want him to go anywhere, so we didn't. It's an absolute pleasure for me to invite someone whom I've admired my entire career to the stage, Jane Hardesty. Jane has served as the state conservationist of the Natural Resource Conservation Service in Indiana for over 17 years. She's been overseeing the agency's technical assistance and programs available to private landowners that help protect the environment and conserve our natural resources through voluntary private lands conservation. Jane's career with NRCS began at the field level, where she served in various conservation positions. Because of her experience and expertise, Jane is often sought by national leaders to lead a special task force or take on national assignments. Jane was appointed to coordinate the agency's soil health effort in 2011, and she continues to stay involved in the State Conservationist Advisory Board on Soil Health. She is a graduate of Ball State University, where she studied natural resources, geography, and biology. And Jane lives on the family farm in Hancock County, Indiana, near her parents. And we heard a nasty rumor last night that she's retiring, but she'll be greatly missed, but has done such great work. So it's just such an honor to welcome her to the stage. Let's hear it for Jane.
Well, good morning. Welcome to Indianapolis and to Indiana. I see a lot of smiling. You know something I don't know? Y'all smiling. Are you really glad that I'm retiring? Is that what this is about? Well, it's good. Yeah, being from Ball State. It's good to see everyone. As you know how lucky you are to be in Indiana in such a diverse state, and the excitement and variety. For those of you who came in on Sunday, it was 65 degrees. As you're leaving possibly tomorrow and Saturday, you'll have a little snow. So we like to make sure that you have a variety of weather here in Indiana. So that's what you're going to be stuck with. Do we have any media in the room? Good. Well, My days are limited, and I've been told, be careful, Jane, don't blow it and say something you shouldn't say. But you know, as we all know, when you listen what's in the media nowadays, it's just kind of a little negative and sad what some of our senators are doing, and just seems to be all kinds of negative things about the tax bill and health care, and just a lot that seems to be on everybody's mind. And to me, if media should ever be anywhere to cover news, it should be right here today and tomorrow. You want to talk about the news that should be out across this country, it's where and what you all are doing here today and tomorrow. When the media finally figures out, let's start talking about the good things in life, and that is those individuals, all of you in this room, who are out there to make sure that this country is strong, that we're producing the food, and making sure that Americans are strong. This is it, folks. And if you haven't felt that excitement, then you just need to leave. I've had enough of it. So you are awesome, and I just hope that I just don't know how to get a hold of you and help you understand what we are doing together is what is going to survive this country. So don't take it lightly. And I am not belittling the issue with harassment. Oh dear, Claire, I just did it. Get me off of that screen. I am not belittling what's going on with harassment or anything. So I just want you men in the room to know that for today and tomorrow, you can hug on me and kiss me on the cheek as much as you want to. Because my days are limited, and I'm not going to care after that. And it is harassment that is welcomed, okay? So let's just get that clear for the next two days. Well, I tell you, I'm wearing a very important hat today. Our acting chief, Leonard Jordan, could not be here, but I know that he is wholeheartedly supports this conference and what we're doing here the next couple of days. The second hat that I've got on is I am a proud member of the Soil and Water Conservation Society. And I believe in your booklet there's a membership form there. And if you are not a member of SWCS, you better be. Because I am so proud of what they're doing, and the opportunities that they're putting out there for us to all come together is awesome. The soil health movement, that's been brought up here today, and it is both foundational and to our agency and transformational also. I could not be more proud where in Indiana, where we're at in terms of soil health. In fact, I'm going to just take a few minutes to kind of boast a little bit about, in my humble opinion, I think that Indiana is leading the nation when it comes to implementation of our soil health management systems. We've got one of the strongest, most effective soil health partnering efforts anywhere. We have an incredible coalition of soil health champion farmers. We have documented over 1 million acres of cover crops the past 2 years. And we now know that for every acre that is federally cost shared, that our farmers are planting 3 to 4 additional acres on their own. This, and the other issue is that, of course, we have, I think, some of the most well-trained, responsive workforce in the country. Now, that didn't happen overnight. Around 7 years ago, this movement started in NRCS because of a very small group of some very smart people who were listening to some very smart farmers. That small group of NRCSers include many in this room. Barry Fisher. Barry, where are you? There he is. Ron Nichols is here today. Shannon Zazula, our state resource conservationist here in Indiana. Ray Archuleta, wild man, thank God he retired. I about had enough of him. But he's still around. Dave Lamb, NRCS. Gentleman by the name of Dave White, past chief. And another wonderful gentleman by the name of Jason Weller, past chief. So we were convinced that we were onto something that could transform our entire agency, that would take agriculture and food production to that next level. And it wasn't just in, Clara, stop that. There we go. And it wasn't just because of single practices, but we were finally figuring out that it was taking a suite of practices to build the soil health. Not that improving soil health was anything new at that time, but in fact, it was our very foundation of our agency that we built on that. But many of us had gotten kind of away from what we were getting back to basics and realized that we needed to get back focused on this. So we went on the road, the group of us. We met in barns, we met in tool sheds, we met in cafeterias, conference rooms, the USDA building. We even went to the White House. And if you ever try to get a bunch of soil samples through the radar in the White House, that was an experience. I thought Barry's going to have a heart attack. But anywhere we set up there, of course, we always made sure we had that table, and we always made sure we did this powerful demonstration that seemed so simple to us, that wonderful slate test. And I think everyone in this room have seen that. But why did we do that? It was because seeing is believing. And seeing that test really got their attention. We held farmer roundtables, we had farmer-to-farmer meetings, we held field days, training sessions. We were like the old Bible-toting evangelists back in the 1900s, that we went everywhere to pick up supporters, and it just continued to grow. And that ripple effect of those early demonstrations and workshops really has paid off. Now here in Indiana, we didn't waste much time. We put together a strategy that required every NRCS employee in the state, regardless of their position, to be trained in basic soil health. I even went so far that I put it in every single person's performance plan, even the secretaries, and they were expected to know about soil health. We assessed the skill levels and the training needs of all of our employees, and then we made a commitment to devote most of our training and travel budget over those years to getting our staff up to speed to work with our farmers who were wanting to know more and more. We entered into a contribution agreement with the Stormwater Conservation Districts, who established the Indiana Conservation Cropping Systems Initiative, directed by a group of SWCD supervisors and farmers that helped us develop and deliver training to our staff and to our farmers. In turn, they've partnered with other farmers and ag and conservation groups. And I hope that you get the chance to meet Lisa Hosher. Lisa, stand up. She's our CCSI director. We've now got a staff and a team, and very proud that they're leading the nation in that effort. Now, this soil health journey, it's been one of the most exciting, transformational things that has happened to our agency in regards to agriculture, because soil health management systems can help transform production ag, and because soil health management systems can make farms more productive, profitable, and resilient, and better prepare us for the challenges that's still out there. I believe the importance of this effort will only grow in the years ahead as we look to feed the world's growing population on fewer acres with finite resources in a sustainable manner. From a national perspective, what NRCS and our partners are doing is important to every single U.S. customer and consumer, because soil health management systems impacts their drinking water, These systems reduce sediment, loss from the farms, sequester carbon, create biodiversity in our rural landscape, and increases the resiliency of our farms and our food production. These next 2 days, you're going to see and hear from a whole bunch of people, Claire, and from some of the leading soil health farmers here in Indiana and around the country who have invested in cover crops as part of their soil health system, and who are now definitely harvesting those benefits. By using cover crops and soil health management systems, a growing number of farmers, some of them who are here today, have literally changed their soils. Our farmers are telling us that they're reporting they've increased their soil organic matter by 3 to 4% and even more. During this meeting, you're going to hear firsthand what that really means. Thanks to these soil health pioneers, more and more producers throughout the nation are now investing and harvesting a wide range of production, environmental, sustainable, and a true business. NRCS is working hand in hand with these farmers as they begin step by step this great journey. The researchers around the country are working to document the results these farmers are experiencing and conducting additional studies that will help us understand and explain why farmers are getting such consistent results from these systems. It's so great to see our growing numbers of groups, organizations, businesses, professionals who are committed to assist these farmers. It's critical that we approach this effort with the full strength and buy-in in our conservation partners. And I want to publicly and personally say a big thank you to Purdue University, our land-grant university here in the state of Indiana. I don't know of any other land-grant university that has come to the table in regards to soil health, cover crops, and the things that they're doing, and I'm so proud of them. So, with all that being said, no doubt we have challenges that's still out there. The climate, cropping, and local resource conditions. It's going to require new production methods, new technologies, new plant genetics to help us achieve widespread use of cover crops. This is no easy task, folks. The good news is that our nation's farmers, researchers, and ag business leaders are courageous and great problem solvers who realize that each journey begins with that first step. A journey to discover, learn, and yes, sometimes we fail, right, Mark? We just do that. We're all learning from these failures, making adjustments and continuing the journey. I believe that we have before us, in the soil health movement, the greatest conservation opportunity since the Dust Bowl. To work together to further unlock the secrets in the soil. Because if we are to meet that huge challenge ahead for production and sustainability, we have got to continue to make that long-term commitment while we're gathering here in Indiana to work together to improve the health of our living and life-giving soil and ensure the health and productivity of our nation's soil for the generations yet to come. Now, I am retiring, it's for sure, and I am so proud of the agency that I have worked with for the last 43 years, to know that Congress has instilled in this little agency that our responsibility was to make sure that our soil and our water was being taken care of. And the fact is, with all the partners who's come to the table, I'm just so proud that we are the agency. We have the answers. We have the National Soil Survey. We have the standards and the specifications for all the practices that's put in across this country. We have the delivery system to get it on the land with our conservation partners out there. We have the experts and the scientists in our agency. We have the researchers, because those are our farmers. So I think that we're at that point where we're ready to keep up with what society's asking us to do. There just ain't enough of us. And we think we know a lot, but when we bring all you partners to the table, and all of you that's here today, and to see new organizations grow, and to see new opportunities of dollars and help come to the table, I'm convinced that all the things that we can do and those gaps, they're going to be filled. And so I just hope that you recognize, folks, that you are part of something great, and don't you ever think that you just have a small little piece of what's going on. Because we, you all, with what we're talking about here and today, we are the answer of the future, and you should feel very proud about that. So before I quit, though, I've still got the podium, I would like to put on a fourth hat that I've got, and I'd like for Ron Nichols to come forward up to the stage. Some of you know that I've served as the chair of the State Conservation Advisory Team for the Soil Health Division, which I'm very proud of. All of our division is here this week, all of our soil health specialists, and also as an advisor to the National NRCS Soil Health Communication Team. This is a team that has developed the great marketing materials that I know some of you have seen. It's on the screen. It's on the screen there. And you probably looked at that and thought, oh, well, that's kind of cool, that's kind of neat. Well, that is what got our whole campaign started. And this communication team developed these materials to unlock the secrets of the soil that kicked off 5 years ago on Dave Brandt's farm in Ohio. This team has won several prestigious marketing awards, most recently the 2017 Public Relations Society of America's Silver Anvil Award. This is considered the most prestigious award from anyone for the public relations world. You getting tired of standing there? Under the leadership of this little bitty, short, red-headed man.
Real involved, too.
Oh, and, well, yeah. The team is continuing to produce products that educate farmers, ranchers, forest landowners, and consumers about the many productivity and resilience benefits of soil health practices and showcase the work of soil health farmers. The Unlock the Secrets PSA distribution campaign has generated more than $8 million in TV and value evaluated in the past year alone. And soil health ads have been featured on billboards, metro buses, airports across the entire country. In addition to this, we're excited to kind of put out there for the first time a new soil health superhero at this conference, and it is the Mighty Mini Microbe. Cool. Now, while we're giving praises to this gentleman here, he's had just a wonderful team. And on that team was a gal by the name Kat Bailey. She's our NRCS Public Affairs Specialist in Oregon. She is the creator of Mighty Mini here. And also, she has been wonderful in developing other publications and so forth. So she's really the brainchild of Mini here. So she could not be with us. We had that all planned. She got sick and couldn't show up. So we're going to have her kind of offset the beauty of Ron here. And also, I'm going to embarrass her. Becky Fletcher, I want you to come up here on the stage. Becky is my public affairs specialist here in Indiana. She's also served on this team with Ron. So when you think about soil health, I don't know if you realize it or not, but it would not be where it's at if we didn't see this logo on lots of things out there. And with wonderful people like these two folks, it's just, pretty awesome. Now, at our booth downstairs, you're going to see Minnie, you know, the cardboard, you know, and she's taller than Ron, but what is that about? But stop by there because not only we have the coloring books, and we want you to stop by and pick up some of those and see the campaign that we're going to be doing. So go downstairs, and I think we have those books to hand out, right? And posters. Okay. So now, somewhere along the line, someone says that Minnie, does she wear a little tutu also?
She could.
She could? Okay. If you try to put that on me, that will be harassment. So don't even go there with that. So, Ron, I don't know if anyone else in this outfit has said a true thank you to you, but I give to pretty special people in NRCS here in Indiana a wonderful NRCS gold watch. And Ron, I want you to have that.
Wow, thank you.
So, you're amazing. Okay, with that, Claire, enjoy the conference. Hugs and kisses are welcomed, so enjoy yourself.